Buckle up for a truly astonishing tale, complete with mind-bending revelations that'll leave you shocked and baffled. Don't miss a single detail. Stick around until the end. If you relish stories like this, consider supporting our young channel by hitting that subscribe button. And if this gripping account leaves you on the edge of your seat, please give us a thumbs up. We'll greatly appreciate your support. All right, let's dive into the extraordinary. Hi there. What I'm about to tell you might sound like a fever dream cooked up by a sleep-deprived college student, but I swear on everything I hold dear, it's the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. It all started with a camping trip, me and my girlfriend. Let's just call her Kim, that is not her real name. Well, we were young and dumb, blissfully unaware of the cosmic curveball life was about to throw our way. Picture this: crisp mountain air, crackling campfire, the Milky Way sprawled across the velvet darkness. Textbook postcard perfect. Except the postcard ripped in half when we woke up the next morning, disoriented, clothes rumpled, and with a gaping hole in our memories where the previous day should have been. We brushed it off as a weird shared dream, a glitch in the matrix, but a niggling unease settled in our gut, a premonition of things to come. Back in the familiar chaos of college life, things got weirder. Kim, normally the picture of health, started experiencing these unexplainable physical oddities: dizzy spells, nausea, heightened sensitivity to light. Then came the bombshell: pregnant. Impossible. She was on the pill, religiously. The doctors were as confused as us, their test revealing nothing out of the ordinary. Yet as the weeks ticked by, the strangeness intensified. Kim's body became a battleground, her health fluctuating like a runaway roller coaster. One week she'd be glowing, energetic, the next pale and listless. The baby inside her, meanwhile, seemed to be defying the laws of biology, growing at an alarming rate. The ultrasound session was disturbing. Before Kim and I knew what we were looking at, the technician ended the session. She seemed disturbed. She left. No explanations given. Both Kim and I were beyond bewildered, bordering on desperation. My countless calls to the specialist's office only yielded the frustrating response: "Doctor is busy. He will call you back." But that call never came. Determined to uncover the truth hidden in those ultrasound images, I took matters into my own hands. Parking myself near his car after his workday, the specialist was visibly shocked to find me there. There was no subtlety in my approach. I practically tried to force an answer from him. His bewildered expression shifted as he hesitated before urging, "Tell your wife to get an abortion." That's all I got from him. Nothing more. His profound fear caught my attention. I couldn't fathom why he seemed so terrified about our baby's unusual condition. Then, the arrival of a black van nearby intensified his distress. His eyes fixated on it, and the fear seemed to double. As I left, deliberately passing close to the van, the driver's window lowered. Two men in suits and sunglasses shot me an eerie look. As the doctor drove away, the van started up, following him ominously into the unknown. The fear gnawed at me, a constant unwelcome companion. It was this creeping sense of being watched, a feeling like unseen eyes were tracking our every move. Then came that night in the apartment. We woke up, not to the comforting hum of the fridge or the distant sirens of the city, but to a bone-chilling silence, broken only by the frantic thumping of our hearts. In the inky blackness, a presence loomed, unseen but undeniable, radiating an oppressive dread that seeped into our very bones. I am telling you, that night there was more than us in that apartment. Only the Lord knows what that presence was, but it felt otherworldly. We fled that night, seeking refuge in Kim's parents' house, the unease clinging to us like a second skin. That's when I started getting anxiously suspicious about the gap in our memories, the night out camping in the wild. The pieces started falling into place, like the strangeness of that event, the unexplainable pregnancy, the constant feeling of being watched. They all pointed towards something, not of this world. The doctor's frantic insistence on more tests, his desperate pleas for termination. What further fueled my suspicion is that the doctor always had excuses not to see us or kept the sessions ridiculously short, never giving any clear answers to any of our questions. To myself, I wondered if it was his way to punish me for the time I creeped up to him in the parking lot, or if he was hiding something from us. Possibly both. This wasn't a normal pregnancy, this was something else entirely. God knows what. Kim, bless her heart, refused to listen. Motherhood blazed in her eyes, a fierce determination that trumped logic and fear. She was going to have this baby, no matter what the test said, no matter what dark secret it held. Eventually, I decided it's better to let her live her naive dream. Denial can be bliss. I was hoping that she is right. I was hoping it's merely me being paranoid. If the baby was abnormal, we will have it anyway, if that is what she wanted. The climax arrived like a sucker punch. Kim went into early labor, the doctors acting frantic, their faces etched with worry. Then came those two men in suits, their expressions unreadable, barring my entry to the delivery room like guardians of some forbidden secret. It was like they were hiding something terrifying. When they finally let me in, it was over. The baby, they claimed, died during the procedure. We never saw the body, some fabricated story about a mix-up, an admin error. A wave of relief washed over me, an undeniable sensation despite the crushing grief clawing at my insides, a hollowness echoing in my chest. Kim was devastated. It was slow, but time heals all, and she recovered. The years that followed were a haze. Marriage, 3 beautiful, normal children, a life built on laughter and love. We tried to build normalcy and succeeded to a large extent, and that is our story. Yet it does not end there. Sometimes I wish it did. Ignorance would have been a simpler path. Something was off. It was both of us. Shared nightmares became our unwelcome souvenir. We never spoke of them, but the knowing glances confirmed our mutual torment. Weeks of normalcy could be shattered by a single morning, both of us awakening as if we'd relived that night in the wilderness. Every time, both of us at the same time. Its synchronized nature was disturbing. These random nightmares could come at any time. It couldn't continue. When our youngest, barely 5, noticed our erratic behavior, his innocent question cut deep. Why are Mommy and Daddy in such a bad mood some mornings? Desperate for answers, we confided in a trusted psychologist. He suspected suppressed joint trauma and referred us to a hypnotherapist and her practice partner. Our separate but simultaneous sessions with the 2 hypnotherapists uncovered the horror. It all came out, or most of it in any case, or so we believe. Gosh, I think we would have preferred the amnesia. The memories were horrific. The oppressive silence of the woods, the sudden blinding light that filled our tent, the feeling of weightlessness as we were lifted skyward, the colossal metallic craft hovering silently above. Then came the figures themselves, tall and slender with elongated limbs and skin that seemed to shimmer in the otherworldly light. Their faces, shrouded in shadow, radiated an unsettling calm, their movements devoid of human emotion, their large almond-shaped black eyes. That is one thing that I can't get out of my mind since the regression sessions. And of course, those creepy 6-fingered hands touching everywhere. The details were terrifyingly clear. The sterile examination rooms, the cold metal instruments, the unsettling hums and piercing screams. We were not the only ones. They forced us apart. They controlled our bodies and movement. We were taken to separate rooms where we endured unspeakable experiments. From me, they extracted samples, a primal instinct telling me it wasn't what later transpired with Kim. For her, they did something far more monstrous. invasive and unbelievable, manipulating her body and planting the unwelcome seed of that child. We didn't know their motives, but had to endure their cold touch and emotionless indifference. Emerging from the therapist's office, we clung to each other, trembling, tears mingling with the bitter sting of confirmation. Those fragmented memories finally coalesced into a horrifying whole, confirming our darkest suspicions. We weren't just abducted, we were subjects in some experiment, unwilling pawns in their grand design. Regular therapy sessions became our battleground, where we wrestled with the horrific memories and lingering trauma. Despite the semblance of normalcy we rebuilt, the shadows of our experience clung to the corners, whispers of "what if" clinging to the air. But the heaviest shadow loomed large, the baby, the one we lost. The burden became unbearable, a weight threatening to crush us both. I embarked on a mission for answers, tracking down the retired doctor across state lines. In a Sarasota restaurant, years etched on his face mirrored our own. He unveiled the truth, the 6-digit codes on tiny limbs, the oversized head, the huge black eyes like bottomless voids. Each unsettling detail chipped away at our hope, while the revelation of its survival, spirited away by shadowy figures claiming government affiliation, plunged us into a new abyss of fear and confusion. There's more to the story, secrets too unsettling to share in the open. But one thing is clear: our journey wasn't over. The truth we found was just the beginning, a chilling prologue to a chapter yet unwritten. This wasn't a happily ever after, but a stark realization. Some mysteries claw their way back, demanding to be faced, even if the answers lead us deeper into the darkness. Regards, Peter Anonymous. Please share your thoughts on this gripping story. Drop a comment below and let us know if you think Pete's tale is true. If you were captivated by this intriguing narrative, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel for more spine-chilling stories.